ankle that he tweaked in Game 4 of the last round against the Lakers in a collision with LeBron. So good for fans everywhere, NBA fans, that he's good to go.
Thanks, Lauren. First possession of the second half is a Jimmy Butler layup. So without Edwards on the floor, the Wolves went +1 in the scoring column without him. Now they get him back. 56-41. The lead is 15. A three-pointer is in and out.
We see Kuminga in the starting lineup during the second half instead of Quentin Post.
Again, Jaden McDaniels picks up Jimmy Butler. They get the switch, and now Draymond Green for three. Comes up short. Draymond got a technical, dead ball technical in the first half. Same starting five on the floor for the second half as we have seen through all these playoff games for the Wolves. That's a turnover. Podziemski forced it, and now
discourage it even more.
So now the Warriors down 14 with the ball. And Curry tweaking his starting lineup. The follow by Hield. He can't get it to go. McDaniels hounded, and Buddy Hield coming out of this halftime locker room with a little bit of a run. They're down 14. Minnesota's biggest lead was 22. And Draymond Green wide open for three, misses.
Well, Draymond Green's going to be open for three a lot, being guarded by Rudy Gobert. He's going to keep going to protect the rim. And they'll live with Draymond Green. He made 4 threes in the first half of game 1, but you got to pick what you're willing to live with.
Here's Mike Conley for three. Conley, that is true. Beautiful stroke. And Mike Conley knocks in another three-pointer. That's his second. Saw Gobert kind of grabbing at his eye. That missed shot by Green glanced off the rim and hit Gobert. He's struggling with it right now as Kuminga shut off, and there's McDaniels. The long reach of Jaden McDaniels with a steal. And now Randall as Kuminga. Podziemski pushes it. Here's Kuminga exploding to the basket.
Turnovers after Minnesota turns it over down there. Actually 10 turnovers for Golden State.
Julius Randle working with Edwards here. Conley finds Randle wide open for three, short. Podziemski with a rebound. Here comes Kuminga. Edwards picks up Green. Now Hield finds Butler wide open for three. Butler hits. Well, breakdown defensive.
Well, Warriors cut it to 12, and again, they've got to do it with their defense.
Edwards all the way to the cup, missed it. Gobert is there. He is
for a great start to the playoffs in the first 4 games of that Lakers series. He has struggled on the offensive end. He's done a lot of other good things. Rebounded, had some assists, steals, blocked shot tonight, but getting the ball in the basket has been difficult for Anthony Edwards.
Butler, Gobert guards him. Butler, shot fake, not there. Hield with McDaniels on him. That's a tough guy to shake. Long two. McDaniels forces it into a difficult jump shot. McDaniels having a great game. Got 3 blocks, a couple of steals. Now he spins and hangs and scores off one leg. Jaden McDaniels has been a beast defensively. Kuminga gets it deep. McDaniels has increased his scoring significantly here in the playoffs. He reevaluated in a week with a grade 1 hamstring injury. Butler caps off a 3-point trip. We got a 12-point game here. Jimmy has 8 in the quarter. Here's Conley now. Finds Naz Reid, open shooter, and he misses. Warriors on a run. They've had an excellent third quarter. Butler and Podziemski, 2-man game. Now Conley on Butler. That's the matchup they want. They clear it out. Butler picked up his dribble. And now 6 to shoot. Kuminga gets a step on Gobert and dunks it down on Gobert.
Kuminga 7 for 7 from the floor in 13 minutes.
And a turnover. Podziemski up ahead, finds Buddy Hield in the corner. Cash! Naz Reid, one of the few that shot it well from beyond the arc in game 1. He made 4 threes. Podziemski drives, kicks, Kuminga, three-pointer, good!
Kuminga, 17 points on 8 for 8 from the floor. The only thing he's missed is 2 free throws.
He's had some monster scoring games this season. Here's DiVincenzo in the corner, and Randle set him up nice.
Wow, I tell you what, if they could get back Dante DiVincenzo to what he normally does as a shooter, it would mean a lot for the playoff hopes of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Green missed it, and Edwards picks it off the rim for the rebound. Now the Wolves up 10, can add to it. Here's McDaniels, cut off, takes a tough shot, and Podziemski with the board. Again, the Warriors can get it back to single digits. As we approach the 5-minute mark, Podziemski taking on Edwards, and he turns it over. He got stuck. McDaniels brings it in.
During the regular season, 4th in three-point percentage. In these last 5 games, it's just been a struggle.
Warriors had cut it to 7, and now down 12. This is an 8-3 Minnesota run. Late clock, Butler, tough shot, front iron, Edwards secures it. And Minnesota can add to their lead. Had Spencer back on the floor. Steve Kerr's played 13 players. DiVincenzo left open. And Spencer and Reed. The pull by, Edwards drives. And it's great to see Anthony Edwards back on the floor after that ankle injury. Missed it, the rebound, and DiVincenzo can't get the bounce. Jimmy Butler secures it this time. 2 good looks at it for the Wolves. Minnesota up 13. And they were up 13 quickly to start this game.
And DiVincenzo grabs him for the foul.
Next one by the Wolves will put the Warriors at the line. McDaniels picks up Jimmy Butler. Jackson Davis, and now Moody. Late clock here, down to 2. Moody's got to put up a 3, does so, and it's an air ball. McDaniels might have got a piece of that. And McDaniels runs the floor and hammers it down.
Jaden McDaniels getting it done at both ends.
8-0 Minnesota run after the Warriors got it within 7. And DiVincenzo able to deflect that one. Another late clock scenario here for Golden State. Down to 2. Moody's got to let it go again. And no chance with Edwards on it. The burst by Minnesota. Just as the Warriors were tightening the screws in this game. Randle, flurry of moves. Alexander Walker with the flyby. Resets. Hits a 3. Nikhil out his stroke again. His second made 3.
It's great to see for them the ball over 13, 14 times now in the game.
5 turnovers in the quarter for the Warriors. Spencer trying to guard Randle. He fires one to the hot hand. No good. That fans done a great job here in Minnesota. Took him to the Western Conference Finals a year ago. Got him into the second round once again. And Draymond Green at 20 as we open up play in the 4th.
Well, and Steve Kerr going with the same 5 guys he started the second half with. Same 5 guys he started the second half with. I think he'll give it a few minutes, see if the Warriors can make a run, and if they can't, they will live to fight another day.
Now reset for game 3, which will be at Chase Center in San Francisco on Saturday. That'll be Saturday night. Draymond Green inside and puts it in.
A great job by Podziemski giving Draymond Green time to seal inside against DiVincenzo. There was no pressure on the ball whatsoever, and he was able to throw that pass from his waist.
Naz Reid misses a 3. Kuminga up ahead. Jimmy Butler running with DiVincenzo, looking for help.
Not sure why Jimmy Butler doesn't try to score that.
Draymond Green for 3. Comes up short, and it'll be Minnesota ball. The next game this early in the stages, but to your point, Stan, the travel, the every other day rhythm of the Warriors grinding through a tough 7-game series with the Rockets. I think Steve Kerr is fully aware. Gobert hammers one down to a striking number. They're going to have to punt and get ready for game 3. Butler inside is over a couple of times. And at the end, ABC has the doubleheader Saturday. Square Garden. And then the Wolves and the Warriors from San Francisco. Naz Reid gets a step on Butler. And Alexander Walker now drives, hangs, finds Reid. Reid got it in the corner. Great ball. Warriors go quick after the made basket. And the Wolves get back. Kuminga passed up a three.
Great closeout by Anthony Edwards. He did a great job staying on the floor.
And Kuminga misses a three that time. An open look.
And all three bench guys from Minnesota have made 3 threes tonight.
Alexander Walker again. Now DiVincenzo. How about that catch and shoot? But an air ball. Maybe too quick. He had a crowd around him. Green driving on Gobert and gets the roll.
Wow, that's a great coast-to-coast drive and a tough finish over a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Gobert sitting on those 4 fouls. Edwards behind the back. Gets to his left hand. Edwards puts it in. He needed that.
Over the last 2 games.
Buddy Hield for 3. Good. Hield hits enough.
Bench upset with that. If you're Anthony Edwards, who's a great shooter like Hield, you got to stay attached to his body, chase him, almost force him to curl into the paint.
And now Hield with a steal. And a foot race, he's going to back it up. He's going to fire a 3 in transition. No, Podziemski is there with a Warriors once again. Podziemski's got 6, his 4th rebound. 8-0 Golden State run. 4 minutes into this 4th quarter. Edwards. And
he did not want to overplay Green and Butler in particular.
Draymond Green 29 minutes. Butler's played 30 minutes. And Alexander Walker lays it in.
Not sure that Trace Jackson Davis is aware that Nickeil Alexander Walker would much rather go to his left hand. He's been on him twice, and both times it seems to me like he's actually forcing him to his left hand.
Inside, two-handed jam for Jimmy Butler. He's got 17 now, 17 and 7. And Butler's chipped in with 4 assists as well. 3-pointer no good. McDaniels runs down the rebound. And a foul is
not a foul.
Yeah, I'm with you. They've been a lot more physical than that. But Edwards does hit the free throws, and Minnesota leads it by 19. Wolves trying to even up this series as they go to San Francisco Saturday. And a win tonight by Minnesota if they hang on here. It'll guarantee at least a Game 5 right back here at Target Center next Wednesday, and we'll have it for you right here on TNT. Podziemski, quick release on the 3, and he finally hits one. Point range before that made. Basket.
They need a more aggressive Jimmy Butler. He's driving the ball laterally across the lane looking to pass. They need Jimmy Butler to look to score and then to pass if he draws 2 guys.
Delivers his 2nd made 3.
Well, they need to get him going if they're going to go far in the playoffs. He had a great start. But
he is one of the emerging stars in this league. Went to a conference finals a year ago. Was a gold medalist at the Olympics. Team USA, coached by Kerr.
Gold medal run. Steph said in games he's for a dull moment. And LeBron James also described Edwards as the best thing about our team. Really thinks he learned a lot, Ant did, from being around guys like LeBron, like Steph, about routine, how to take care of your body. And he's seen his leadership grow this.
The notion, and Stan, you'll have to dissect this for us, but his ability to watch those guys and how they shared the basketball. He is the star of this Minnesota team, the guy you build a franchise around, the face of the franchise, but the high volume can take you back-to-back conference finals.
Yeah, this team has already surpassed the Garnett years in terms of playoff series won.
4 consecutive playoffs for the Wolves. Great playoffs, but they had 6 consecutive first-round exits before they made it. He's having some trouble. He took that rebound off the head early. Hangs in the Raptors.
One of the most liked and highly respected coaches in this league. And there's your answer for Steve Kerr. 4 guys getting up, and we're going to take the last 5 minutes off. Jimmy Butler, Buddy Hield, Brandon Podziemski.
Got to put Butler around 33, 34 minutes. Podziemski 33 minutes. And Buddy Hield knocks in one last three-pointer. 15 for Buddy Hield, who has found his shooting stroke the last 3 games.
You aren't kidding.
Had that monster Game 7 in Houston, scored 33 points, made 9 threes in that game.
Well, he's now made 18 in the last 3 games. An incredible run.
Minnesota came out and handled business tonight. No Stephen Curry for at least a week. And now the Warriors will try to do all they can on their home turf. They put some pressure on the Wolves as Anthony Edwards, strong finish, looking for the foul.
Anthony Edwards is acting like he doesn't know we're in the playoffs with the fouls he's expecting to get. Those are all soft contact.
Julius Randle out ahead of the pack.
Just point out that the Detroit Tigers have the best record in the American League.
Nice.
Finishing off a sweep of the hapless Colorado Rockies today with a doubleheader victory.
Twins won today, by the way, beat the Orioles 5-2.
Orioles, probably the most disappointing team in Major League Baseball right now, coming off a couple of playoff seasons and just haven't been able to get it going at all.
Well, the TBS has the National League this year in the playoffs. Stan, as Alexander Walker hits a 3. You want to put your predictions out there? Who we're going to see in the NL? I have to go before you mention the Brewers.
No, that's not happening, BA. I'm sorry.
Come
I'm
on.
really sorry.
Yeah.
Really sorry.
Going to surprise you again. So the bench empties for Chris Finch as well. Great hand as the starters with an ankle injury came back, played in his normal rotation in the second half. And he and Randle were excellent tonight. Randle 24, Edwards with 20. As Alexander Walker gets a couple of bites at it. You got Alexander Walker, Shannon, Minot, Clark, and Miller on the floor for the Wolves with Moody, Spencer, Santos, Knox, and Key. And the end of the bench getting an opportunity to compete in a playoff game. Take advantage of it when you can.
And I think great thing for the Wolves tonight, great sign, is that DiVincenzo, Alexander Walker, Naz Reid all knocking down shots. They need those guys going. They rely on them for their offense coming off the bench.
It was Key, nice little hesitation. The Minnesota three-point shooting was abysmal in this. Would miss 16 straight three-pointers in game 1. Too serious. He looked normal coming back in that second half.
Well, quite honestly, if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves, and if you're a fan of the Timberwolves, you got to look at this as a must-win series. You're going to get to play a minimum of 3.5.
And the last time Curry was at 16.
Yeah, but that's back like 2018. You've got Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson in his prime.
Yeah.
You got enough offense to get by, and the Warriors' defense has always been elite. Jalen Clark had a very difficult possession there, to say the least.
Key not letting up at all. And neither is Shannon. Shannon on a breakaway, and he scores.
BA player.
Had a great run in the Big Ten.
Well, Chris Finch, 8-man rotation. They've been healthy. And so coming down these last 21 games and into the playoffs, they haven't had to go any deeper than that.
Minot with an acrobat. Wolves had that great surge after Randle came back, really since March 1st, on the road as well. Remember, Lakers had home court advantage as a 3 seed in that series. And that did not faze the Wolves. Shannon going to work here. The lefty missed it. There's Miller.
His coaching staff have great confidence in him.
See Luka Garza on the floor as well. 40 seconds left. Ernie Johnson and crew standing by in Atlanta. Only one game tonight. Early night for those guys. Party at Chuck's. Don't say that. There's always a party at Chuck's house. Thanks to our great crew here, led in the truck by producer Jeff Randolph, our director Matt Lip. Our statistician is in the video room and takes it away, takes that away from him.
Well, you and I will be back here for Game 5 next Wednesday, which is now assured.
Now we turn it over to ABC and ESPN for the next two in San Francisco. We'll be back for Game 5. And we'll see where this series goes, minus Stephen Curry. The Minnesota Timberwolves come back with an answer and a response in Game 2, and they win it.